Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now let's look at the management functions. Basically, there are three management functions which are planning. Okay, you have planning, directing, and controlling. So let's look at one by one. So planning. What is about planning? Maximize short-term profit and market share, commit to environmental protection and social programs, add value to the business. Okay, if you go to your textbook, you can see planning requires managers to look ahead and to establish objectives. Okay, you need to plan ahead. So as the managers, they are required to plan for the organization or for the business. So these objectives are often diverse, maximizing short-term profits and market share, maintaining a commitment to environmental protection and contributing to social programs. So basically they want to maximize the profit. Of course, in any business you would like to have a higher profit compared to a lower one, so you want to maximize the profit. And then you also would like to have, if you are listed companies, then you would like to have a higher market share. So market share is also one of the objectives of the management function, okay, to enhance the market share under the planning. Okay, and then for example, your packet in an attempt to gain a stronger foothold in the computer industry greatly reduce its price to compete with Dell. So a key objective of management is to add value to the business. So you need to add value to the business under its control. So value is usually measured by the price of the company's stock and by the potential selling price of the company. So value, that means you are, how do you know that you have created a value to the business? So value is measured by the price of the company's stock or shares. Okay, in normally in the US they use the word stock, whereas in Malaysia we use the word shares and equity. Okay, they are all basically means the same. Okay, so you are looking at the value, that means what's the share price of that particular company. Okay. Okay, just to show you, for example, we just Google the Sime Darby share price. So this one, you have the share price of the company is 2 ringgit and 19 cent. This one is on this particular date, and then at that particular time, and then you will have what is it that you want? You want the share price to increase, okay, show an upward trend. So you can go, this one is 1 day, 5 day. Although this is not real time, but this one can give you some indication of what's the share price. So this one is over a period of 5 days, what happened to the share price. Okay, and then over a period of 1 month, what is the trend of the share price over a period of 6 months. Okay, year to date. Okay, you want to see over a 5-year period, what's the trend of the share price. Okay, so you want to have to see, you want to see that the over a period of time, okay, the share price show an upward trend. Okay, upward trend, you want the share price to increase. Okay, so so that gives you some indication of the value. So you are looking at the value of the company. Okay, so a share price can give a good indication of what's the value of the company. Okay, the next function for the management is about the directing. So directing is about coordinate the diverse activities and human resources, and then implement plan objectives, provide incentives to motivate the employees, hire and train employees, produce a smooth running operation. Okay, so you can see directing involves coordinating a company's diverse activities and human resources to produce a smooth running operation. So this function relates to the implementing plan objectives and providing necessary incentives to motivate the employees. Okay, so this one you need to also motivate the employees, and then so that they work in the direction intended by the organization. So for example, manufacturers such as Campbell Soup Company, General Motors and Dell need to coordinate purchasing, manufacturing, warehousing and selling. So all these activities need to be coordinated. For example, you have the production, you have the selling. If let's say how much that you intend to sell for the next year, for example. So if let's say you want to sell, let's say 10,000 units, just take small figures. If you want to sell 10,000 units, what about the production? Can the production meet the 10,000 units demanded by the selling department? Okay, so if they can't, then you need to do some coordination. If let's say they say I only means the production can only meet up to 8,000 units, so you need to think of something. So that's why you need the coordination, right? And then service corporations, the same goes, okay, for not only for the manufacturer, it also applies to service corporations such as American Airlines, Federal Express, AT&T, coordinate scheduling, sales, services, and acquisition of equipment and supplies. And then directing also involves selecting executives, appointing managers and supervisors, and hiring and training the employees so that the employees are well trained, right? So the third function of management is about controlling, okay? Controlling is the process of keeping the company's activities on track. So you just cannot have a plan and then you just live it like that. So you need to make sure you have the control mechanism. So to make sure that the company's activities are on track. So in controlling operations, managers determine whether planned goals are met. So they determine whether whatever that they have planned, those are being met. When there are deviations from targeted objectives, managers decide what changes are needed to get back on track. So if there were to be any deviation from what you have planned, then corrective actions need to be taken. Okay. Scandals at companies like Enron, Lucien, Xerox attest to the fact that companies need to adequate control to ensure that the company develops and distribute accurate information. So controlling is another function of the management, and then you must make sure that whatever that you have set, the goal that you have set are being met. If they are not being met, then corrective actions need to be taken and to make that and to get them back on track. Okay, so so in short, the management function would include planning, directing, and controlling. So the management functions are planning, directing, and controlling. Okay, about the organizational structure, this just shows the organization charts, show the interrelationships of activities and the delegation of authority and responsibility within the company. You have the stockholders, they are the owners of the company, and they have appointed the board of directors to manage the companies for them, the CEO and the president, and you have all these things, and then you have the treasurer and the controller. Okay, you have this I think you are very familiar with the organization charts, right? Just have a try at these questions. Okay, indicate whether the following statements are true or false. Okay, number one, managerial accountants have a single role within an organization, collecting and reporting costs to management. Is this true? Okay, have only a single role, so it is false. All right. Okay, the next one, financial accounting reports are general purpose and intended for external users. So financial accounting, general purpose and external users. Is that true? Yes, it is true. And then managerial accounting, on the other hand, reports are special purpose. Okay, they are special purpose and issued as frequently as needed. Okay, this one. So this one is managerial accounting. They are issued as frequent as needed, whereas financial accounting is normally quarterly or semi-annually or yearly. So is this statement true? Yes, it is true. Next. Managers' activities and responsibilities can be classified into three broad functions. Okay, their activities or their responsibilities can be classified into three broad functions. Is that true? Yes, three broad functions, but is that cost accounting, budgeting, and internal control? No, it's not cost accounting, budgeting, and internal control. Instead, they are the planning, directing, and controlling, right? So this statement is false. And then number 5, managerial accounting reports must now comply with the generally accepted accounting principles. Which one that must comply with GAAP? Is that the managerial accounting or the financial accounting? Okay, so the answer is financial accounting. So this statement is false. All right. Okay, so hopefully you get a better understanding on this topic. Okay, with that, I thank you.